Hi everybody, welcome again to online course in spoken English. In the previous sessions we discussed truths and myths of spoken English. We began with what is spoken English. We saw the basics of spoken English, and we also discussed myths and truths surrounding spoken English, surrounding the skill of learning spoken English. And today we shall discuss some ways and means to learn and improve spoken English. There are many ways and means of learning or picking up English and improving upon the kind of English that we speak. First and the foremost thing is listen, listen, listen. This is the best and the foremost mantra of learning English. Who is a good speaker? One who is a good listener is a good speaker. So listening is the natural way of picking up a language. Instead of reading and noting it down, it is always better to listen to people and imitate them. Listening, repeating, imitating will help you to pick up language naturally. And how does this listening help us? It introduces new words. We pick up new phrases. We get introduced to new expressions and sentences. And without our knowledge, we will be able to producing language. We will be generating more and more sentences, more and more phrases. And this would naturally make us a good speaker of English. And it also helps us improve pronunciation. See, it's very difficult to learn pronunciation just by reading. Just by reading, you will get to know the message of the writer. If you listen to a person speaking good English, and if he has a good accent, you can imitate him. You can imitate the sentences he speaks, the way he utters the sentences, and then you can use them in your day-to-day transaction, in your day-to-day life. Don't be under the impression that you should always listen to foreign accent. And at times it becomes very, almost impossible for you to understand what the speaker is saying, because we are unfamiliar, we are not acquainted with the foreign accent. So never ever think that you should listen to foreign accent. Once you acquire the basics of language, then you can listen to the foreign accent and you can try to imitate based on your purpose. You should begin with the simple stories, movies with English subtitles. Movies will be there and you will have English subtitles. And then English news you can, and conversations, and there are audiobooks. It's better to always have a book, hard copy of it, and then you can simultaneously listen to the book read out by someone. So you can, listening to audiobook will also help you train your ears. Listening is a very powerful tool. And then speech shadowing. So speech shadowing is a technical term for imitation. What is the most natural way of learning any language? Imitation is the most natural way of learning and picking up any language. And this is established by our own experience of learning our mother tongue. So whatever you listen to, you should be in a position to understand it. So what we call is comprehensible input. We call comprehensible input ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅಂಥ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ಟನ್ನು, ಅಂಥ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ಸನ್ನು ನಾವು ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಲಿಸನ್ ಟು ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿಚ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ ಕಾಂಪ್ರಹೆಂಡ್. If you are not in a position to comprehend, it is so disgusting for you that you stop listening to it. So better have some simple resources. You can watch cartoons also, animated stories are also there, or speeches in simple English, documentaries, and try to watch or listen to the content that you are already familiar with, so that you can make cross connections, and then it becomes very easy for you to pick up the language. And then next very important thing learning English is reading. Read a lot. So reading is an active process. What will you be doing while reading? You will be reading something, you will be understanding it, and you will be giving your own responses. ಓದ್ತೀರಿ, ಓದಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರತಿಸ್ಪಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅ ಒನ್ ವೇ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಟೂ ವೇ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್. ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ರೈಟರ್ and you are sending your own response. I would recommend all the books that are written in simple English. You have to read them a lot, and I want you to be an active reader. It helps to pick up a range of words and sentences. You will get a lot of vocabulary, and you will get sentences with different structures. phrases, idioms, and you will get introduced to range of language in the books. And contextual learning of words and sentences is possible. See, learning sentences in isolation. ಐಸೋಲೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಯಾವುದೋ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸನ್ನು ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಬೈ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಅದ್ರ ಕಲ್ತ್ರೆ ಯು ವೋಂಟ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಲಾಂಗ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್. ಅದರ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆನಂತರ ಅದನ್ನು ಭಾಳ ಕಾಲ ನೀವು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದನ್ನ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಕಂಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಚುವಲೈಸ್ಡ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕಾಂಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಬುಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ದೆರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಅ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಬುಕ್. And there will be events unfolding, there will be characters and characters speaking, characters behaving. So all this ambience irtadalla, book in on the context irtadalla, that will help you understand the word, and such an understanding will remain with you forever. ಕೊನೆವರೆಗೆ ಅದು ಉಳಿತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಆನಂತರ ಇಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ಸ್ ದ ಲರ್ನರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆಂಟ್ ಗೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಕಾಂಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಎನ್ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆಂಟ್ ಗೆಸ್ ಈವನ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಡು ನಾಟ್ ನೋ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್. You need not always refer to a dictionary. You can make an intelligent guess of the meaning of the word by the context in which it is placed, right? And then it helps a learner to learn at his own speed. See, reading, it is not just like listening or watching a movie. You can do it at your own pace. You can read, you can understand, you can reread. If you do not understand the sentence, you can go back and you can read the sentence again. You can make out the meaning, and then you can move on to the next sentence. So you can make notes also, and you can refer to resources also. If you do not know a meaning, you can refer to a dictionary, and if you want to know a synonym, you can refer to a dictionary. If at all you want to know the related words, you can refer to the other sources. Thesaurus is there, collocation dictionary. There are different types of dictionaries. Then what and how to read? This is very important. So people keep saying read a lot, listen to a lot of English. People keep saying, but we need to understand what to read and how to read. ನಾನು ಆಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, you have to read comprehensible materials or resources, the resources that you can easily understand, the resources that interest you. ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟವಾಗುವಂಥ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ನ ನೀವು ರೆಫರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಓದ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಇಷ್ಟನಾ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ರೀಡ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ. And if you can sustain your interest, if a longer story, just like a novel, if it sustains your interest, just keep reading a novel. Read the novel, okay? And then what you have to do, don't just be a passive reader. I have already told you, you become an active reader. Underline the words, highlight the words, and if you find any phrase very catchy and attractive, and if you feel that it is very helpful for you to use it in your day-to-day life, then you just make a note of it and you underline the sentences. Try to remember the sentence and use it in your day-to-day life. See, when you read a novel, you will get a lot of dialogues, right? Dialogues are from the real life context. You can take those dialogues and you can use those dialogues in your day-to-day conversation. You just make a vocabulary journal and you keep writing words, okay? You keep writing words, and don't write words in isolation. Whenever you write a word, place it in a sentence, okay? Make a sentence, and then that word should be there in the sentence. This makes meaningful learning of that word, and you can remember that word for a longer time, and you will also be able to use that word because you have placed it in the right context. And then you have to set a goal. You have to decide for yourself that you are going to read certain number of pages for a certain period of time. Every day you are going to read for half an hour, or weekly you are going to read, for a week you are going to read 15 pages per week, and keep increasing your speed, and definitely one day you will find that you cannot set a limit for yourself, you cannot set a goal for yourself, and reading flows like anything, okay? You cannot stop reading. So read children's books. What to read? Read children's books, story books, magazines, newspapers, novels, all the stuff that interests you, okay? You can read magazines that are written in simple and plain English. You can read them, and those stories and novels that interest you, and unconsciously you will be picking up the language, okay? This is about reading, okay? First thing is listening, second one is reading, and third point, put words together and start speaking. So So you cannot learn a language just by having words in isolation. What you need to do is you have to put the words together. Put the words together and start speaking. Simply having words, okay, hither and thither, that is of no use. You have to put words together and start making sentences and start speaking. And phrases and sentences, you can start some simple phrases, okay, and then not always necessary to know the structural differences. People think that I eat a banana is a plain sentence, right? I eat a banana, and you cannot postmortem, you need not postmortem the sentence saying I is the subject, eat is a verb, a banana is the object, subject, verb, object, this is SVO. This is not at all required. See, how are you is the sentence. Have you ever make the structural study of the sentence? You just imitated others. How are you? And your answer was I am fine, thank you. How are you? I'm not keeping well. I have a severe headache. So you just putting words together and having I at some place and eat banana, that doesn't matter. That doesn't help you. Okay, I eat a banana. When you put these words, 4 words together, this makes some sense. And then learning language by mastering grammar rules and learning vocabulary is not very effective. Don't try to learn grammar in order to learn language. So grammar is learned for a different purpose. Okay, accuracy comes at a later stage. What is important in the beginning is fluency. There are 3 things: fluency, appropriacy, and accuracy. And accuracy comes at a very later stage. You need not bother about accuracy. Start, put words together and start making simple phrases and sentences, and keep talking to people around you and keep talking to yourself. A study published by the University of Michigan 2016 says that the students who learned grammar and the students who just started speaking, there was a study, and it was found that that set of students who learned grammar could not speak out English, and they could not make any remarkable progress in English. Okay, and that set of students who did not learn grammar, they just put words together and started speaking, they had made a tremendous progress in learning the language. Okay, so understand a statement and question in the context. You try to understand the statement. If a person makes the statement, you try to understand it, memorize it and use it. There is nothing wrong in memorizing the sentence. And even if you do not memorize, sometimes you will remember it. Context in which the statement was made is very effective, then you will be definitely able to remember it for a longer time. So try to imitate, try to remember, try to memorize, and try to use it. So language is learnt by use, not by rules. 4th one is a sentence mining. This is again a technical term, sentence mining. So what is sentence mining? Learning whole sentences, not chunks. So see, learning only 2 words, 3 words, that doesn't help you. Learn the whole sentences. If, for example, okay, before that, let me make it very clear. What is learning in meaningful chunks or units? Learn something in meaningful chunks. It should make some sense. See, turn is the word, and let us see how many sentences or how many phrases can be made out of this turn. Okay, turn to your left. Turn does not have any meaning in its own right. It has meaning, but the meaning intended by the speaker will be understood only when it is placed in the context. For example, turn to your left means just turning to my left. Turn to your left. Turn to page number 50, not turning myself. I have to turn the pages. Turn to page number 50. Page 50. She turns 20 next month. What does this mean? She turns 20 next month means she becomes 20 years old. She attains the age of 20 by next month. Next month she becomes 20 years old girl. Okay. Then the leaves have turned yellow. What does it mean? Leaves have turned yellow. Leaves have changed the color. They have become yellow in color now. So turn off the fan. Put off the fan. ಅದನ್ನು ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಫ್ಯಾನನ್ನು ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ದೆನ್ ವೇಟ್ ಟಿಲ್ ಯುವರ್ ಟರ್ನ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಹರಿ, ವೇಟ್ ಟಿಲ್ ಯುವರ್ ಟರ್ನ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್. ನಿನ್ನ ಸರದಿ ಬರೋವರೆಗೂ. Till your number comes. Wait there till your number comes. And the road is full of twists and turns. This turn is different. Twists and turns. Okay. You will remember this if you have gone to Ghat section like Dharmasthala, Udupi, and even if you have gone to Uti, Uttakamandalam, there are hairpin bends. So these are turns and twists. See, the same word, when it is placed in different sentences, takes different meaning. So what is important in learning a language? Learn whole sentences. Turn to your left means the meaning of turn is different from turn to page 50. She turns 20. Altogether it is different. So a word gets meaning only in the context in which it is used. So what is important is not just learning words and their Kannada equivalents. That doesn't suffice. What you need to do is you have to learn the whole sentences and you have to use those sentences. Then only those sentences and structures will be retained with you. Okay, that's all for the day. Thank you all for watching. Keep learning English and speaking English. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.